seems this is already working. Hello everyone. Yeah, I can't see right now the chat. Hey Dan, Fabian. Yes, all the people is already okay. Dan, it seems it's good. I was afraid because I it's the first time I present here in Hoping, so but it seems everything is working good. So yeah, let's start. So first of all, thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you so much to Drupal for allowing me to give my first talk. And yeah, that's it. So today I'm going to tell about a little bit of my story. My name is Jose Fernando Huber Barbosa, and I'm here to tell you the story of how I switched careers and I uh, begin working on a production line here in Austria to work in web development. So I want to show you and share my story of how this transformation happened. So as you can see, usually I say my full name, Jose Fernando Huber Barbosa, because is like a good representation of who I am, right? Jose Fernando Barbosa is like 75% of my name, and it's just my Latin roots. I born in Colombia, born and raised in Colombia, in Bogota, 2,600 meters over the sea. It's a cold city. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say that is actually European cold or something like that. It's Latin American cold. But yeah, it's one of the coldest cities in Colombia, if you can call that cold, but it is like that. And my grandfather born in Vienna, so I also a little bit Austrian, and this is why I have Austrian citizenship. And and I moved to Austria in like 4 or 5 years ago. Where almost the time goes so fast that I don't really remember. So yes, that's it. So I studied music. I studied music and studied classic guitar. So I just married Marcela, this beautiful woman that you are seeing here in this photo, and I have two kids, Ana Sofia and Jose Alejandro, and they are the inspiration of my life and the reason why I after work some years as teacher in schools, I decided to do something else, something new, and try to just move to Europe and try to find better opportunities for my life. Something that happened to me is once I just got kids, my life, the way I see the life just changed completely. I don't know why, but now I don't care anymore about being famous or having a rock band. I just want the best opportunities for my kids, and moving to Austria was like the best way I could achieve that, or at least at that moment for me was the opportunity that I had, and I just take it. I was at the beginning. I was here alone in Austria. I just started because my family Marcela couldn't travel with me. She stayed at home with the kids, and was a really difficult times. Sometimes, like the people that is like native here in Europe or in any country that have a lot of immigrants, they forget how hard it is, like start right starting in a new country when you don't speak German, when you barely speak English. It's actually really hard. And for me, like even small things like going to the doctor was really painful for the first year and a half. So I just tried to take any job that I could. So I just work as cleaning. I work like um, in restaurants. I tried to do as much as I could, but I couldn't like find a really good opportunity to have a regular income in order to bring my family with me. Until one day, one friend of mine just called me and said, "Hey, Jose, do you want to take this job? It's a production line job." And I said, "Yes, let's try that." And that's why everything begins. I work in a production line doing plastic bottles for 4 years, but like 6 months after I begin that job, I could bring my family here. So I'm really thankful for being able to take that first job and this opportunity. And I learned a lot of things from this job. I learned that when you really want to do stuff, when you really want to do the things, you are able to do the most incredible things that you never thought you would be able to do. For me, it was really hard. I have never worked in a production line. I have never like understood any technical knowledge about how the bottles are created. but I had to learn everything in order to have my family with me and to bring some money to my home. um, and once my family just came here, the what happened is like, I entered in a comfort zone for some years, because I wanted the kids enter to the school. I wanted my son also to enter to the kindergarten, and my wife to learn German, and all these kind of things that used to happen. And I just kind of accepted my life as it was. I kind of accepted, like, okay, I'm going to work in this production line, but I was really unhappy. I was not doing anything that passionate me, and I wouldn't say that I was embarrassed when someone asked me about my current job or my current situation. But I didn't want to tell, okay, I'm doing plastic bottles for life. And this, after some years just working there, I just decided to say, okay, no, I need a change in my life, and I need a plan for that, and I need to find a way to move on. And then I begin to think, what are the opportunities that I have? What are the different things that I can try? Music was a thing that I considered, but to be honest, I didn't wanted to come back to teaching in a school, because teaching was for me something that I really wanted and I really like it. But I think the how the system works, or how the school system works, was something that I really didn't enjoy. So I think music or teaching music in a school was not a reality for me. So I just think, okay, what about composing, or what about performing? And I fortunately I didn't went that route, because like 3 months after that, coronavirus came. And yeah, so was amazing that I didn't took that route. But I then decided to, okay, let's try this thing called coding. Okay. And I had a lot of fears, so I want to share that fears with you, because maybe if you're a person that is considering enter to code, maybe you have the same questions and the same fears that I had. Is coding really for me? Sometimes I just thought like coding was for someone really smart. That's something that only really smart people could do. Maybe you do need a computer science degree. I was still hesitant about my knowledge, or my intelligence, right? So I'm smart enough to do that. And I didn't. I considered this like for 3 or 4 months, until I decided I'm just going to try. I'm just going to try to move on. I'm just trying to create a plan in order to be able to achieve that. And the worst thing that could happen, or at least at that moment, was for me, is I have already this job in a production line. The worst case scenario is I just stay here in this production line job. So I just design a plan for me, and the things that I think, or I understood that I need to do in order to move on from my position to something new, was trying to first of all understanding how this ecosystem works, how all the terminology works. What is this thing called server? What is this thing called framework? Because I had no idea. If you asked me like 2 years ago what was a framework, I had no idea what that was. So my best guess that I could do is just like learning through hearing podcasts, and to consume a lot of videos in the internet. So you can imagine me in the production line work almost like 6 or 7 hours a day. I just took in some earmuffs and then my headphones inside, hearing podcasts all the time. Um, there was this podcast that I really loved, that was Syntax from Wes Bosa and Scott Tolinsky, and I learned a lot. So at the first time I hear a podcast, I had no idea. They were like talking Chinese to me, to be honest. They were just talking Chinese, like saying, this is a framework, CSS, like SAS, and all these buzzwords that all the time are happening in web development. And for me was, what? I don't understand anything. But I just keep trying and keep trying. And like, I guess 1 month after that, I was already versed on this terminology, or at least trying to understand how the things are interconnected. And this was a really good breakpoint for me. Like, you just need to try. You just need to try to code. You just need to try to hear other people talking about code. And of course, you need to be creative about the time. As I told you, I was using the possibility that I had while I do repetitive tasks at my job in order to learn. But also when I was using the public transport, I also consuming a lot of content at that time. And the other thing was just coding. One cool story that I love to tell when I'm talking of this is in the company in the night shifts, because okay, in the production line you need to work in shifts. So you have this morning shift that you do, and then you have this after lunch shift that you do, and the night shift. So every week you are switching. So also your sleeping time is just crazy. But in the night shifts, the boss are not there, because the bosses just they sleep at night all the time. But you have the opportunity to use this time in other things. So the machines are running. If the machines are running and all the production is going well, then you have some free time. And most of my colleagues, they use the time to look the cell phone or maybe play some games. And I found, like, in the company we have a really small computer that was really old, but and it was the computer that we use to weigh the material that we are not using and we are going to recycle. And this don't allow me to install any program, but it allowed me to use WordPad and Internet Explorer. And yeah, that was me. So using my free time working in WordPad and Internet Explorer to create my first JavaScript applications. And was really incredible how fast you learn when you really try to do it right. With, like, you learn a lot more than watching videos or seeing other people or even going to the school. You learn more, just do the thing, open your code editor, your text editor, and just doing it. And this was a big learning. The problem was I was grasping a lot of different like knowledge and terminology and doing my first small applications, but I really feel like I didn't have a structured path of learning. So I need to take a movement there, and I need to take a risk. So I research about what are the different options to move into a position. And for me, the easiest way was moving into a bootcamp that allowed me to have a person or a mentor that show me what is the path, but also a bootcamp that allowed me to know people that understand how is this labor market working, right? Maybe for other people have been the movement have been like talk with other developers or people that have more experience working as developer already, or personal contacts, right? For me, because I was new in Europe, I was new in Austria, the boot camp sounds like the best option. So this is what I did. I began to research what are the different boot camps that are in my zone, and I found this a nice boot camp called Up Leveled. I researched a little bit about it. I contact some of the students and the people, and I met this nice person, Angie NC, and she convinced me like I need to take a risk. Was really hard because I need to just almost just leave my work, leave my job, the income of my family. I need to leave it in order to go for these 3-month boot camps. And I was really scared. I have to say, I was really scared to do the movement, but I did it and I jumped in. I found was one of the best decisions that I could do in my life. I found a mentor that organized all the topics that I was already trying to understand alone, and this person just taught me how to organize my learning process. And I found also that all the background that I had, like working as teacher and also even the music, could be something that I can use in the team and any team that I'm going to work in the future. So for my specific case, I think the teaching background was really good because helped me to show up my abilities, and at the end I ended up working for the bootcamp as teacher also. So just if you feel like you want to move on from the current thing you are doing now, and you think that web development or anything you want to do um, is the thing that you feel that you could be passionate about, just move in, because everything that you have done in your life, there are a lot of learnings that you are going to apply on that. And this was a big learning for me at that time. I thought, okay, I lose my time doing this music career, doing this teacher experience that I had in my job, and actually was not like this. And that's it. So right now I'm just really, really, really happy working in an amazing team that allow me to learn every day. Because when you teach things to others, when you are able to explain stuff to others, then you actually learn faster and learn in a deeper way. Like sharing my knowledge allow me to understand things in a more profound way. And also I'm working in really cool projects. Like for example, the last project we were working on was doing a bot that reviewed the code for the students, doing GitHub actions and using a Docker image in order to run all these tests that we want to do. So even before the code come to me to review, we already do a lot of tests, and doing that with GitHub actions and JavaScript and all these things was really amazing. It was something that 1 year and a half ago I never imagined I could be able to do while I was working on the production line. Because if now that I'm thinking, 1 year and a half ago, I was just doing my plastic bottles, and look that if this transformation could happen to me, it's a transformation that could happen to anyone. I am not really special. I'm just a Colombian guy that happened to be in Austria, but anyone can do this. What I did. So I really feel happy and proud of my current job because I am able right now in this bootcamp to share my knowledge and to help other people like me to transform their lives and get a better job. So that's it. So one of the main learnings of this small talk and telling my story that I want you to keep is like, first of all, learn that you can do anything if you put a little bit of imagination and try to use your time in a creative way. Like understand that seeing the things in a different perspective are really important in anything. Just seeing the things in a different way is something and a skill that we sometimes like don't value enough, and it's really valuable to be able to give second opinions. And also, learning to program is not only for programmers. Actually, learning to program is something that is open to anyone. Coders are going to be needed not only now, but in the future by a lot. So if you really want to go into programming, this is the right time to do it. You just need to open your text editor and go for it. And also, the nicest thing that I have learned, like working in this web development bootcamp that I'm right now, is like the world is right now being fooled with all these different applications, and all these different applications serve a lot of different people in a lot of different countries with a lot of different languages and culture. And these people that create these applications need also to represent that diversity. So if you are coming from a different culture, if you are speaking a different language, if you feel like the way you understand things is different, take this as an advantage in order to come into to development. And that's it. So yeah, thank you so much for being here and for hear my story. And that's it. That is the thing that I wanted to share with you. So hopefully, if you are trying to do something new, just jump in and please invite me to your tag. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you for the comments. Also, Fabian, thank you so much. Oh, crazy, really cool. Yeah, I'm just hearing here your comment, Fabian. Thank you so much. Yes, it's incredible, amazing, amazing. Okay, cool, peeps. So yeah, I think I'm going to stop share now, and I wish you the best. So thank you so much for hearing, and yeah, was great.